So with Father's Day coming up, I thought it would be fun to talk about leadership and role model leadership, because a lot of us think a lot of our fathers, and we should, right? Dads are a different kind of leader, a different breed. Some of us might be disappointed in our own father's leadership, but fathers are human, right? We know that most dads do the best they can, and they provide unconditional love. They do the best they can with their kids, and I think that was the case with my father. And I want to share a story with you about self-esteem that I learned from my dad. And I'm fascinated with this concept of self-esteem because it's a misnomer, isn't it? It's called self-esteem, but isn't it true that you can help someone else feel better about themselves? Isn't that true? It's a misnomer. And so that's what parents do in a big way. They help their children feel better about themselves and help them feel, develop good, strong self-concepts for life. And when I was 6 years old, my father approached me on a Sunday afternoon, and he said, Michael, I have a question for you. And I said, yes, Daddy, what is it? And my dad said to me, he said, who is the most important person in the whole world? Now I'm 6. And my dad said, who's the most important person in the whole world? So I said, you are, Daddy. And my dad shook his head no. And he said, why don't you think about that for a second, son? I'm going to ask you again, who is the most important person in the whole world? And I thought about it again, and I answered quickly this time. I said, oh, it's Mommy. He shook his head no again. And he said, son, think really hard. Think really hard. This is important. Who is the most important person in the whole world? And I looked my father in the eye, and I said, I am, Daddy. And he said, that's right, son. He smiled his big Italian smile, right? When my mother died, my father started writing letters to me and my brothers. And they were the wisdom of the ages, all my dad's great stories, his aphorisms, his axioms, his life mottos and stuff. And they're all in his letters. And when my father passed away, I struggled with his death. And as therapy, I recorded my father's letters in an audio program. And this is it. It's called Dear Michelangelo. My middle name is Angelo. And that's how all the letters began. Isn't that nice? Yeah. And I thought my dad would enjoy it. He's gone now. He'll never hear it. But in a way, he helped me create it. And you can do the same thing with your father if he's still around. You can do it with video. You can do it with audio. You can do it with the written word. But this is legacy. And this is leadership. And this is how we learn from each other. And so this is part of the package that I mentioned earlier as well. So can we have Xavier from this side of the room maybe? Can you come collect the cards? And you want to collect from the middle? That'd be great. And sir, my friend, would you collect from this side of the room? Just hold up your business cards if you want to be part of this drawing. We'll do the drawing quickly. I'm going to answer quick Q&A. I've got a 30-second goodbye story.